What's going on, nation? It's actually the night before the Olympia 2015. I'm in my hotel room right now, getting ready for tomorrow, getting ready to meet a lot of you guys, but I wanted to touch base on a subject that's been exploding all over social media, and it's the fact that Kai Greene will not be competing this year. I actually met Kai Greene before. I met him back in 2009, before I even started any of this YouTube stuff, before I got YouTube famous, I guess is the way we can say it. As cheesy as that sounds. Anyways, I was in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I happened to know that he was coming to a local supplement store, doing an appearance, signing autographs, all that stuff, and so I went to go meet him. The guy was extremely nice to every single person there, and I had just started my YouTube channel, and so I was kind of talking to him about what I do and my training. He was super nice, answered all my questions at the time, and he even shared some of his food with me. They had brought him like trays of chicken and fish and asparagus to feed him. He's a big dude. He has to eat all day long. And he shared his food with me. And if a man shares his food with you, especially one as big as Kai, in my book, that makes them a nice dude, and they deserve your respect. And aside from that, I mean, Kai is a front runner for a reason. He trains super hard, and for those of you who have watched him compete over the last 5 years, I've been going to the Olympia for the last 5 years, and you know, his physique has gotten better and better and better and better, and he's placed second 3 times. He's due for a win, and I honestly thought that this year was going to be his chance to take home the title. And, you know, it stinks that he's not going to be there, and I'm bothered by it. And if those of you who are fans of Kai and you saw his video where he's talking about how upset he is, I mean, you can just see it in his eyes and you can hear it in his voice, how destroyed he is that he's not being able to compete. I mean, he's given his life to this industry and this sport, and to be kicked out at the last second, you know, especially when you've been training so hard, and you know, and many people think that this year was his year, to be kicked out of that. I mean, I can only imagine mentally what that does to you. But for those of you who are Kai Greene fans and have seen the video, you know, even in his lowest point of the year, he's still finding ways to get people inspired and to believe in themselves and to push through the hardships, and you got to give him respect for that. And throughout the video, he's mentioned a few times, he didn't really go into details to exactly what happened, and you got to respect him for not going into those details, because a lot of people, they like to get on camera, like to point the finger, air out their dirty laundry, and try to build up all this hype. And you know what? He said, you know, things were happening that he can't discuss, which is fine. He didn't air out his dirty laundry. You got to respect him for that, because at the end of the day, we really don't know. I mean, in this industry, there's a lot of politics. For those of you who don't know that, there's a lot of things that go on behind closed doors. And online, people were saying, I read a few different places, that his company was supposed to sponsor the entire event, and because they were going to sponsor the entire event, they wanted a free 20 by 20 booth, and they were holding out into the end, and that didn't end up happening that way. And so because it all kind of came crashing down towards the end of being able to register, that's why they're not letting him register for the event. And so at the end of the day, you're not going to know what happens. These are all speculations as things what happens. But you got to look at it from both sides. I mean, a booth at the Olympia is a lot of money. And so to ask for a free booth, even though you're sponsoring the event, what kind of message does that send to all the other athletes that are competing? You know, if you start doing handouts now, is the federation going to have to do handouts later? But at the same time, if his company was going to sponsor the whole thing, you know, I would expect something for free. Like, hey, I'm spending all this money. Why are you going to make me spend more money on a booth? But like I said, at the end of the day, we don't really know. But, you know, even after talking about all of this, if there has to be other stuff happening. In my opinion, there has to be other things going on in the background, because it's not like Kai Greene, some random dude coming off the street that no one's ever heard of. I'm not saying he deserves special attention, but if it's a matter of being late with the registration, I mean, would it be so hard to just let him register and go on stage? And, you know, you might say, well, that's unfair to the other athletes. Well, I also kind of think it's unfair to not have a top contender competing, because, I mean, if you were competing, let's say you're Dennis Wolf or Phil Heath or these other big dudes that are on stage, would the victory really be sweeter if Kai wasn't on stage? Wouldn't you rather say, I won Mr. Olympia and I beat Kai and I beat all these other top contenders? Or, you know, maybe you got first or maybe you got second. Or what if Kai was supposed to win this year, you would have got second or third place? Do you know what I mean? So being a competitive person, personally, I wouldn't want to win an event just because somebody who may have beaten me got kicked out of it. To me, that would kind of take away from, you know, how special it is to win. But that's just my opinion on the matter. But, you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I know a lot of people talking about this, and it's really sad. I guess at the end of the day, the reason why I wanted to make my video was because I am a Kai Greene fan. I do like him. I think he's super nice. He's really inspirational with his training. He works his butt off. And like I said, he shared his food with me. He's a nice guy. So if you haven't seen his video yet, Nation, go over and check it out. You know, leave some support for him because I think he needs it right now. He might be putting on a front. Maybe he's handling it great. But at the end of the day, you know, when your life kind of gets smacked the way his did right now, and you're looking forward to the show all year long and you can't do it, I just think any amount of support that we can give him, the better, because he deserves it. And you know what? We'll just have to wait for Kai Greene 2016. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave your comments down in the comment section below. And for those of you who are going to the Olympia, I'll see you tomorrow at the BSM booth. See you guys.